what's going on, guys? It's your boy Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor here, and today I got something very special for you. I actually went digging in the educational crates and I found an amazing training video that I did. It was a conversation I had at Clever Summit 2016, and it's about an hour and 20-minute long conversation, which is way too long to have one conversation like that on YouTube. So what I decided to do is break it into 4 parts. So right now you're about to watch part number 1, which is going to break down the 4 main investing strategies. I call it my 4-square strategy matrix. Yes, I made that name up. Going to break down the 4 main investing strategies most residential real estate investors experience. We're going to talk about the biggest challenge new real estate investors face. And I'm going to break down and walk you through the entire evolution of a real estate investor, from brand new beginner to absolutely dominating the game and making millions and millions of dollars and everything in between. All right, so this is part 1. Let's dive into this training. All right, so in this training, we're going to talk about the evolution of a real estate investor. We'll just, basically model out how far you can go with this thing. Residential real estate is what we're going to be focusing on as you advance. If you want to get into commercial or hard money lending or any of the more advanced stuff, we do have some training for that kind of thing, but that's not what we're going to cover here since the majority of you guys are brand new. We're going to cover the 6 steps of completing a residential real estate deal. Same 6 steps, no matter what type of transaction you're doing. I'm gonna break down how to set up your real estate business the right way. We're gonna be talking a lot about systems and processes. On Sunday, you guys will want to be here on Sunday. All right? Do not miss Sunday unless something, there's no other way around it, because we're gonna really dive into systems on Sunday. We're gonna talk about the overview of a $1 million real estate investing operation. So I'm gonna basically whiteboard out my business model, all the people in my world who do what they do. And I'm going to show you the flow of from when we generate the lead all the way until it comes out the other end as profit. Is that exciting? Yes. Is that what you guys want to know? Yes. All right. So have you guys seen this before, our 4-square strategy matrix? Yes. Most of you guys have. All right. So there's different investing strategies in residential real estate. We created this just to be able to simplify things. I believe simple is always better, because otherwise a confused mind doesn't make a great decision. And I learned this I read a lot, and there was a psychological study about peanut butter. And they brought these people into a room, and they basically said, hey, out of these 3 peanut butters, which one do you like? And it was very easy for somebody to pick the peanut butter they liked. Then they added a 4th and a 5th and a 6th and a 7th and 8th. And people right around the 4th or 5th decision melted down. They weren't able to make a call anymore. Makes sense though, right? We do this all the time in our lives. It's just overwhelmed. So we simplified it, and most people come into residential real estate investing, if you're like me, with little to no resources, all right? And that's why we got into real estate investing, is because we wanted to get some cash flow going and be able to pay off our debts and start saving money and get into the bigger things. What I realized is there's so many myths out there about real estate investing that when I was first learning, I kept hitting these walls thinking that certain information was fact. And then I realized that it wasn't, right? And there was a lot of misinformation out there. And so, for instance, do you need to have a real estate license to be able to do real estate investing? No. Why not? Because I told you so. That's the white coat theory. Yeah, and the reason is when you put you own a piece of real estate, or you control a piece of real estate. Okay, you have title to that real estate, and there's certain real estate laws that surround that title and protect your rights as an owner, and gives you the ability to sell it or rent it or modify it or sell off pieces of it. Maybe you can sell air rights or mineral rights. I mean, you have rights. And that's a beautiful thing about doing real estate here in the United States. Some people that are who here is from Canada? We got a couple Canadians in here, eh? Right? By the way, Mark is a professional hockey player. Say hello to Mark, okay? And he's from Canada. That's why I said that. So, they have some challenges doing some of the same things we're doing here because their home ownership and information is protected a lot more than here. It's a lot harder to get access to property data than it is here. So it really, over the last probably 15 years or so, has been really great for creative real estate investors because so much technology has advanced our ability to get access to information. So where most people start is a form of real estate investing with no money or little to no money, because you do need some resources, right? What are some things that you might need in order to be in this business? Okay. Do you need marketing? You need a computer. Yeah, that would help. Access to one. Although I will have to say this. I trained a lady out of Colorado that never owned a computer and never owned a cell phone in her entire life, and she was in her late 50s. She owned she was an entrepreneur, okay? And she owned a cleaning business, and she cleaned houses. Never needed a cell phone. She had her home phone, and that was it. All right? So you could do a lot, and she actually lit the world on fire, by the way, because she simplified everything. It wasn't, yeah. So that's a myth that you need to have a lot of money, but you do need maybe an earnest deposit. Can you borrow an earnest deposit? Yes. You can. What's that called? OPM, right? Other people's money. If I come to you and I have nothing, I have $0 to my name, and I say, oh my God, I got this great deal. The seller's willing to sell for $100. It's worth $200,000, but I need $1,000 to put down an earnest deposit. There's going to be a 15-day inspection period. The money will not be at risk for those 15 days, and I think I can flip it and find a buyer. And I'll give you 30% of the profits plus your $1,000 back. I'd be like, no risk? Get my money back? Yeah, I might do that for 25% of the profit. Guys, do me a favor real quick. Turn your cell phones off for me while we're in here. All right, so, there's a lot of creative ways to do this with little to no money, but the first strategy is called wholesaling. Okay, you guys have all heard of wholesaling. We call them quick flips because we like to be different and cool. Basically, what it does is produce cash, quick cash. All right? What's another form of investing that produces quick cash? Gambling? Yeah, for who? The casino? Yeah. Rehabbing, fix and flips, right? All right, who here has done a fix and flip? That's beautiful. So you guys know that the idea is to be able to cherry pick out your better deals as you're generating a lot of leads, to be able to cherry pick out your better deals and then make more money on them. Because wholesaling is a beautiful thing, and we'll get into a little bit of wholesaling. Does anybody not know how wholesaling works at all? Okay, a couple of you. Most of you guys, especially if you've gone through any of our training, understand the fundamental aspect of wholesaling. I didn't want to get too much into that because we have a lot of training on that. If you have questions, ask us. We'll make sure we break it down for you. But, what happens as a wholesaler is it's a high-paying job, right? You're working. It's a lot of work, actually. You just happen to get paid your worth when you do it, which is a beautiful thing. I don't know any other thing that I can spend an hour doing to make 10 grand, 15 grand or whatever. Once you get the systems and processes down and you build the relationships, you're cruising and you're making good money. Okay, but there's all these times when you're first getting going, especially that first year, you're dishing out your deals, and it starts getting harder to do that because you realize that, oh man, that wasn't 10 grand, that was $50,000 I just gave away. And the only reason I did that is because I was scared or hesitant, or I didn't have the money, or some excuse as to why I didn't pull it back in and run the rehab on it. Okay, you guys got to get over that fear or those fears in order to be able to cherry pick out your best deals. I don't do rehabs on deals that are maybes or iffy. I only do deals on the home runs that are rehabs, all right? Creative financing. Who here has done a creative financing type of deal? All right, where are you from, Texas? San Diego? New York? San Diego, we got some creative Californians here. Salt Lake City, cool. Where are you from? Houston, yeah, I found a lot of people from Texas do.
Texas, baby.
There we go. All right, so yeah, creative financing, we're going to have a whole session on creative deal structuring Okay, this is where it's really exciting because, and you're going to hear me say this later, no lead left behind. Okay? We're like the Marine Corps with our leads, right? Everybody thinks that lead generation is the hard part, but it's actually not that hard, right? I could spend 45 minutes with you and show you how to open up a new lead channel, and by the time we got done, within probably an hour, you'd have fresh leads in your inbox. It's called Facebook ads. And it wouldn't take any time to get up and going, and you would get fresh leads in your inbox. We could drop a mail campaign, and 8 days, 10 days later, your phone's going to be ringing if you do it right. So lead gen, although a lot of people think it's the thing that they have to crack the code on, and yes, you need to know how to do it right or you'll waste money, it's actually conversion that's the hard part and the art form of being a real estate investor. You guys understand that? Yes. Okay. You guys want to learn how to influence sellers and buyers and actually negotiate like a champion? Yes. That's what we're going to focus on later on today. And as we go through these negotiations training, the whole point is and you're going to hear a phrase called transactional engineering. Creative deal structuring is your ability to negotiate terms. You guys understand that, right? So there's cash and there's terms, and we're going to get into how that works. So creative financing, a lot of times if you do it right, you're not going to have to put a lot of money into the deal, and we're going to go over all the terms of a deal so you understand the logistics of the terms that you're going to want to manipulate. But they produce cash flow. It's a creative way to buying a rental property. Okay? Can you wholesale a subject-to transaction that you got under contract or put together? You can. You could do a lease option. You can wholesale a lease option. You can pretty much wholesale anything. Wholesaling is nothing more than stepping out of the transaction and allowing somebody to step in your shoes. You understand? You're matchmaking. So with that said, rentals and creative deal structuring are creative ways to get cash flow. Hopefully over time, you're able to buy it right. You have equity built in. You're able to get the cash flow. Hopefully the market appreciates a little bit. You get the tax benefits of owning real estate. What are some tax benefits of owning real estate? Depreciation. What else? Appreciation. What else? You can 1031 it and grow your profits into more profits. Everybody know what a 1031 is? Okay. 1031 is essentially when you go to sell a property, instead of just selling it and cashing out, essentially what you can do is sell it and identify another property you want to roll that money into. And there's some tax benefits in doing that, so you don't pay taxes now. You're going to take your profits of that first one, move it into the second one, so you can typically buy a bigger, better deal and move your way up the food chain. And eventually, when you do sell it, you'll end up paying, hopefully, long-term capital gains, but you're able to grow your money. All right? What's another one? What about interest write-off? Yeah, you got an interest write-off if it's leveraged. All right? So the evolution of a real estate investor, level one, what would you think level one is? Bird dogging? Man, you went way back. You're all, education. No. Wholesaling, right? Rehabbing. That's where most people, they watch a TV show, they get excited, they talk to somebody. In my case, you know, what I liked about the way I got into this business is I had a friend who rehabbed and flipped a house and made a bunch of money, and I said to myself, boy, if that guy could do it, right? And that's where the interest originally came from. All right, so what do you think level two is? Yeah, maybe buy and holds, creative deal structuring. What's level three? Huh? Tax-free, debt-free. That was really good. You've done some studying. I like it. All right, what's level four? Developing, lending, maybe jumping into commercial, you know, some of the bigger projects. So as we go through this evolution, and some people jump. If you had $5 million, would you jump? Yeah. Yeah, if I had $5 million, I'm not going to go wholesale houses, right? I'm going to jump. I'm going to do bigger projects. My goal as a wholesaler is to be really lazy, right? I want to be the laziest wholesaler here in Arizona. All right? My goal as a rehabber is to have other people do all the work for me. Okay? I don't want to swing a hammer. I do like demo, though. Demo's kind of fun. All right? As I'm going along and doing deals, my goal is to hang around bigger, better people that are thinking on a bigger level. So typically those people are doing a lot of things inside their IRAs, a lot of tax-free type stuff. I want to understand that whole world. I want to understand trusts. I want to understand IRA investing and IRA-owned LLCs and all that. What seems more complicated, really it isn't. You just need somebody to map it out and show you how to do it. But if I had $5 million in my IRA and you had $50 in your IRA and you sourced a deal and brought it to me, could our IRAs partner? And at the end of maybe, say, 2 or 3 years, if you turned your $50 into, say, $3,000 or $5,000 in your IRA, would that be a win for you? Tax-free? It's a huge return, right? You guys got to start thinking on those lines. And then eventually lending and developing. Who here wants to be a lender or a developer? Wow, you guys are dreaming big. Who here doesn't want to do anything and just win the lottery? Who here thinks they'd lose all the money after 2 years if they won the lottery? Be honest. You'd blow it. Yeah, you'd blow it. All right, me too. All right, so what do you guys think the biggest challenge most residential real estate investors face? Fear? Knowledge? Finding deals, sourcing properties? Finding money? Getting started? A lot of great answers, okay? And depends on who you talk to. None of them are wrong. But I would say because I'm in this unique position where I get to hear from a lot of brand new real estate investors, I think the majority of times it's systems. They just don't understand all the moving pieces in the business itself to actually, you could stumble in, go onto Craigslist right now, pick up the phone, call 3 people, get 1 deal, have 0 systems, no phone number, no LLC set up, no money, no nothing, right? It could happen. So that's fine if you're really, really lucky, but as you actually get into this business and take a real crack at it, you need systems and processes in place, and that's why a lot of people gravitate towards Clever Investor, because we have the best systems and processes. Things like phone systems, automated marketing systems like the M5, understanding how everything connects together from web to phone, making sure that the process is to actually take in a lead, fill out the forms, what information you need, going through Podio, all the things that you might want to have in your business to make it run efficiently so you can ramp up. Because the last thing you want to do is spend money on leads or waste time, okay? Waste time is, without understanding that you're going to actually win at the end of the day, right? Because if you don't have any great processes, then you're going to waste a bunch of time. Most people fade out around the 8th or 9th month in this business. That's what we find. Is that going to be you? No! Can't allow that to happen. Okay? It's systems. All right? So they have to be simple. They have to focus on solving challenges. They can't revolve around a person, and you cannot reinvent the wheel. So on Sunday, Matt Lights, who came up here and started this thing off, okay, one of the best marketers and business systems guys I've ever met in my life. He's a freaking genius, okay? Everything that I know about automated marketing, okay, everything that I'm going to talk about as far as what I applied to my real estate business is because he taught me these things. It pays to have good teachers. It's very costly to have bad teachers, right? Do you guys want to learn from him? Yeah. Just like he showed me, I'm telling you, it's a game changer once you start putting this stuff together. All right, so the evolution looks like this, okay? You start off as a tech, who's doing it all right now, every aspect of their business. How do you feel about that? Sucks? Tell me how you really feel. The goal is to move up, and I have to be honest with you. Now I'm at a place in my career where, I always want to be authentic with you guys. I don't do a lot of the day-to-day stuff anymore. I'm not on the front lines like I used to be. I'm not, answering the inbound calls. I'm not going on the appointments like I used to, okay? I'm focusing on the big, big projects, our $2, $3, $4 million development deals. I'm thinking about raising capital because I'm always leveraging. Even if you have money, you always leverage. Leverage is power. And, I'm thinking about how to grow the business. I'm thinking about what my KPIs are. You guys know what that phrase is, KPIs? Key performance indicators. I'm going to go through that here in a minute. Okay, I'm focusing on the business systems. I'm building the bigger relationships. My goal as a rehabber and developer is to do fewer, bigger, better deals. I don't wear on my sleeve like I used to the pride of doing 500 deals in a year. In fact, I said I would rather do 5 deals in a year and make the same amount of money, right? Because I'm in this for lifestyle now. When I first started, I was just in it for the money, right? I was so freaking broke, I wanted money. As you start making money, you start realizing you're giving half of it away, your systems are, you're tired, you're stressed out, the systems aren't working, you're hiring the wrong people, the people around you are freaking bozos, and everything's, it's a hot mess, okay? So you actually start caring about this stuff. And what transitions you from technician to manager? Say it. Systems. Systems and outsourcing, systems and hiring, okay? You really got to start pushing yourself to fire yourself as fast as possible. Go in as the technician, learn it, document it, systematize it, and then hand it to somebody else. I promise you they're going to do a better job than you. It's almost guaranteed. In fact, just say out loud right now, I kind of suck at doing the day-to-day of my own business. It's okay to kind of suck at doing the day-to-day, right? You guys are designed to be entrepreneurs, to be investors. Eventually, your money needs to be working for you. You cannot be the bottleneck in your own business, and that was really, really challenging for me because I felt like I did everything better than everybody else. And what I did is I find myself working, getting up at 4 in the morning. Now it's 11:30 at night, and I'm still on the computer trying to get out a marketing message or put out an email or doing these little things that weren't even that big of money makers in my business, like putting out a blog post or something. What a waste of time for you personally. Okay? It needs to be done, but somebody else could do it better than you, and they could do it for way better of a cost than what your time is worth. You guys understand that? Yes. All right. To move up to entrepreneur, you got to really focus on hiring better people and investing your money. So, when you're an actual entrepreneur, are you involved in your business? Heavily. Okay? You're the biggest cheerleader your business has, right? Nobody's going to care about it like you. Can you just dish it off to a manager and check out? No. Can you just, I've experienced this in a couple of my companies, you cannot be the person that just says, hey, we're going to invent a position, figure it out, and let me know how it goes. Because I'm too busy, right, to actually train you or teach you what to do. But you told me in the interview process, you're a decent manager, so figure that shit out. Right? What happens 3 months later? It's a mess because it's not the way you want it done, right? They're doing the best they can, but they're not empowered. Is that fair to them? Is it fair to you? No, right? So you really got to take time in your business. I call it System Saturday or Working Wednesdays, whatever you want to call it. Like literally set out one day a week where you're going to shut down everything else and you're just going to focus for a couple hours on your business. Documenting everything. Make it a game. Gamify everything, right? What are you going to win at the end of this power session? What are you going to do for yourself? How are you going to celebrate? Okay? I can't tell you how many times my kids and I have dance sessions when Dad finishes something, and I have a little timer. I set the timer, and I go in, and I got, the attention span of a 3-year-old, so I'm pushing myself as hard as I can, and I'm sweating, and I'm still there, and I'm pushing through the pain, but I get it done, and then I celebrate. It's important, right?